Rodney Mullen, in my opinion, is the best skateboarder of all time, and he has been in 13 video parts. So, by my count anyway. And today, I'm going to put them in a tier list. I want to review them all. I've rewatched them all. I'm going to show you some clips of them. We're going to decide which one is best. The first one we got here is from Skateboarding in the 80s. Very unique name we got there. Is a 4-minute run. It's just him skating nonstop. There's no cuts except for 2 times that he bails and they just cut in another angle afterward. The only real standout tricks here are a 540 shove it and a big spin finger flip. It's impressive that he had 4 minutes worth of tricks that he could just do back to back to back, but I don't see myself going back to rewatch this one too often. We're gonna drop that right here swiftly in the F tier. Next up, we have the Bones Brigade video show. He has a lot of truck tricks, a lot of 50-50 tricks. And this one actually has cuts in it, like a normal part would, but it's all obviously filmed in one session. Some standout tricks here. Got a crossfoot nose Casper. Gonna want you to remember that one for later. Casper 360 flip, which is surprisingly difficult, although he can do it no problem. We've got an anti-Casper that is a half impossible to nose Casper. And then the kickflip and the ollie, first time those were ever done on camera. He's got a no-handed fan flip, which is an obscenely difficult trick, and he does a helipop over a deck. Something I find really interesting is that he figured out how to ollie and then did a helipop in the same part. Now, he had been doing them for some time at this point, but it's just really weird to consider doing an ollie, then immediately figuring out nollie 360s. This one, it's important, you know, the first ollie and kickflip to be put to film, but again, not much to come back to rewatch. I'm going to drop that one in the D tier. The next Powell Peralta video was Future Primitive, and this one is again one session, but it's got a problem where it is barely over a minute. Kind of a weird part, but it's got some good tricks. He's got a spinning no-handed fan flip. He has an ollie impossible, which was new at that point, a varial double kickflip, a one-handed handstand kickflip, and a 720 shove it. Those are some pretty good tricks. But again, it's just so short. It's all one session, not all that exciting. I'm going to put that also in the D tier, but I'm going to put it one above Bones Brigade video show. All right, what do we have next? We have Public Domain. This one has a lot of talking. It's basically just him talking about school and studying and things like that. But he has an ollie varial finger flip. And then there's this sketchy flat ground section. It's really weird. He keeps landing everything sideways. It's not all that good, the stuff that he's doing there. But he does have some new tricks in this one. He has a nollie impossible. He has a triple kickflip, first time that was put to film. And then his first 360 flip on film, which happens to be a double. Now, he had been doing 360 flips for a while at that point, and he may have not even been the first one to put one on camera, because this was 1988, so people were already doing 360 flips. But the first time he filmed one, and it was a double. This one, it's just not that good. I'm putting this right in the F tier, above the 80s, skateboarding in the 80s. But yeah, just those lines where he's just skating in that flat pad, landing everything sideways, doing lots of grabs on flat. Not all that exciting for me. All right, next up, we're going to move to Rubbish Heap. This was in 1989. I downloaded a clip of this back in the day. I've watched this part hundreds of times. Let me show you some of it. He's got lots of flat ground lines, and this is the first one where it's multiple days for the same part. He does an impossible up onto a bench. That's his first foray into street, on camera at least. And then check out this combo here. He does a Casper 360 flip to rail, back to Casper, and then a 360 flip out again to spacewalk. Like, that still holds up as an incredibly difficult trick. Very impressive. Then he has a full cab nose hook impossible. You want to remember that trick for later. Just all kinds of freestyle combos that are completely insane, even by today's standards. And then Rodney's board is focused, and he is handed a street board. This is the last time he has a freestyle board in a part. What's funny though is immediately after he gets this big street board, he does a 540 shove it on it. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to put that as a C tier. You got to be into freestyle to really enjoy that stuff, though. That freestyle stuff, crazy. Very impressive stuff. All right, the next part is questionable. And now in the Tony Hawk podcast, he was on there and he said, so this was his first actual part as far as being filmed over a long time, his first ever street part. He had just learned to skate street, he'd been doing grinds for the first time, and he was very nervous at the premiere, which was a very loud event, everyone really excited. His part came on and it got some claps here and there, and that was about it, and he was kind of embarrassed by it. But did he have any right to be? Let's take a look at it. He's got lots of flat ground lines. That was still pretty common in street parts at the time. Even other street skaters in this video have flat ground lines. He does a hella pop late flip. Pretty crazy. 540 shove it late flip. And then he does a front shove it late varial double heel flip. This is not in slow-mo. This is just no big deal. That trick is crazy. I cannot imagine doing that one. An impossible late varial flip, which is one of the hardest flat ground tricks I can even imagine. Maybe top 5 hardest trick ever done on flat. He does the first gazelle flip in a line. That trick has gotten kind of common, but it was not then. He does a very early laser flip. He was not the first. You can check out a video where I talk about that, and check out the top comment on that one as well. He does a nollie backside 360 shove it late flip, a trick that I watched a million times just to understand what was going on with it, and then he turns it into a line. He's got a 1.5 Casper flip, a kick flip under flip for the first time, and a 540 double under flip. Again, something that people used to debate on forums back in the day of what that exactly is. But with that and the 540 shove it late flip, those were the first 540 flips I'd ever seen on camera. There were like freestyle ones, but to roll, do a 540 anything that flips and land and keep going, I think those are the first ones. So this part, he may have been embarrassed by it, but for me, it is an A tier. I actually still go back and watch that one from time to time. Very impressive. He had been skating street for a couple of years. And doing all those grinds, and I think he does a little handrail in there, like nothing crazy, but is impressive. Next Plan B video is virtual reality, and this one is a lot more street centered. Is a kickflip, under flip. Then he's got this line in there. It's a frontside flip, and then a half cab heel flip, and then a 360 flip, which is really weak, surprisingly weak. But then he debuts dark slides, and he does it with a bunch of new styles right off the bat. He doesn't just do a plain old dark slide, he does it in different ways. He's got a nollie inward heel flip nose manual. He's got a Casper slide at a skate park, and then a half cab Casper slide at a street spot, and then the 1.5 flip Casper slide, which is just unbelievably difficult, and a Casper slide 360 flip. Some of the most ridiculous tricks ever put to camera. He said in an interview much later that those are some of the hardest tricks he ever filmed. And then an anti-Casper slide. Again, that's the half impossible one. The first gazelle underflip, you'll be seeing that a bit more. Half cab kickflip underflip, you'll be seeing that one again some more. And then he dark slides a hubba as an ender. So it's got some weak parts in it, especially that weird flat ground line that I could probably do. But then he debuts a new trick with the dark slide and a bunch of different styles of it. It's got a lot. And then those Casper slides, just so good. I'm going to put this in A tier behind questionable because I prefer questionable. Plan B or virtual reality. If it weren't for those Casper slides, it would be a lot lower. So a little bit under questionable, I think, is fair. All right, we got Secondhand Smoke. So this is another Plan B one. This is from 95. It starts with this long freestyle section. There's a lot of footwork, lots of flat ground combos. I found this interesting because this part is a lot of street, but he starts with freestyle. Like, he kept doing this stuff. He kept it consistent. But then suddenly, bam, he kickflips a 10 set. And then he's got some pretty cool combos. Tray flip, nose manual, nollie flip. He's got a switch tray nose slide, and then some crazier dark slides. He's got this nose Casper slide at the top of a bank. Camera angle is terrible. I wish I could see what this trick actually looked like, because that's really crazy, but I just have no idea. And then he's got a nollie hard flip, nose manual, switch tray, nose manual. And my problem with this part is that even though it has that really heavy freestyle section at the beginning, I think it suffers from being too street. Like, he's very freestyle and then very street, as opposed to kind of mixing the two, which is where my preference for seeing his stuff. So Secondhand Smoke, I'm going to toss that in the B tier. That's probably, that's the worst of the Plan B ones, because we are done with Plan B. And next we're going Rodney Mullen versus Daewon song. This was from 97. And this is when he is in his picnic table era. You're going to see a lot of crooked grinds on picnic tables in this one, but he does have a few standout tricks. He's got a varial heel flip nose grind, some bigger kick flip, under flips, a switch hard flip nose manual. He's got a much better tray flip nose manual, nollie flip out at a spot. And I always notice this guy in the background. He catches the switch heel flip. He turns around right on time to miss the half cab kick flip, under flip. Poor guy. He's got a no-handed fan flip into a Casper to Casper, and it's in front of a protest. So, like, he didn't have a ton of time. I don't know if that was planned, but he's just got it like that. Like, he can just go do a combo that good when there's happens to be something cool going on. As a background anyway. And then he's got some one wheel 360s. I think that's the first time we see those. So it's a good part. There's some good stuff in it, but all those basic grinds on picnic tables, not all that exciting for me. I'm actually going to put this in the C tier behind Rubbish Heap. Next, we have 1999's Round 2. If you played Pro Skater 2, most of the clips in his ending part come from this. Not everything, though. It starts with his freestyle credentials scene, like he's showing off all of his, times that he's been published and awards and things like that. But we've got his first half cap nose hook impossible late flip, and then a nollie flip under flip. Some just crazy section to start off in the beginning here. Got a nose grind, nollie impossible, super clean one. Lots of inward and varial heel flips out of crook. So he did all that picnic table stuff, and now he's starting to take it up a bit and actually do interesting things on them. The first ever dark lip slide, and some more dark slides on top of that too. Very cool. Kickflip under flips, a wheelchair ramp, and then we got the slow-mo picnic table at the end in blue with all the crook and heel flip stuff, including a half cab crook nollie inward heel flip out and a half cab crook nollie varial heel flip out. Very cool. And then he gets blessed at the end by Jesus, which I always thought was really weird. The copy that I downloaded back in the day in like 2002 or whatever, it was so blurry that I was like, is that a cross? Like, I could not tell. And it clearly is one when your quality is a little bit higher. It is a little bit weird. I am going to put that one higher B tier. We're going to put that right there. That is a solid part. Okay. Next up, we're going to go to 2001 with Opinion. These clips are in Pro Skater 3 for the most part. He starts with a one-handed handstand kickflip to rail to Casper. And there are, again, some really intense freestyle combos. He didn't have much in the last one except for a couple little things in the intro, but the freestyle is back in full effect in this one, and he goes hard. He brings back that cross-footed nose Casper from 1984. He brings back flatland lines, but they're a lot faster now and they're cleaner. He's not landing everything sideways. That's a big upgrade. He brings back the helipop late flip. He's got an impossible late shove. No flip this time, but it's at least clean. And then the street section starts. He's got a gazelle underflip in a line, which is pretty cool. And then he's got a couple more after that he does at Patty's Pub. He's got a front crook monkey flip. That's where you grab Indy and you flip that way. Crazy picnic table stuff. He's not just doing simple grinds now. He's doing manual combos left and right. He's just doing stuff everywhere. It's crazy. He brings back that full cab nose hook impossible, except now it's on a bank, which is where it belongs. Makes it way cooler. Nose manual nollie flip gap back to nose manual, which is intense. Tray flip, dark lip slide, both stances. Awesome. And then a crazy ender. He did this one twice. If you watch closely at the way he catches it in both clips, he catches it a little bit differently. So he did his ender 2 times to get different camera angles. Really cool. This one I downloaded from an IRC channel back in it must have been pretty new because it came out in 01. I was probably watching it 02, 03 maybe. I downloaded a copy of it. I watched this every single day, and not just his part, the whole video. This is like one of my top 5. This one is absolutely going in the S tier. This part is just an all-time classic, just fantastic stuff. And there, heavy with the street, like not lots of crazy grinds and gaps and stuff like that, but like bringing out that super technical street, and then also freestyle combos that like top freestylers can't do. It's awesome. All right, next up, round 3. This was from 2004. I bought this one. I had it on DVD, and I would watch it every single morning before school. Put it in my PlayStation 2, and I would watch this. Not everyone's part. Mostly I would skip Sheckler, but let's look at Rodney Mullen. He's got bank, truck stuff, and Casper stuff. He's got this spinning Casper 360 flip out on a bank, which is pretty crazy. And he introduces the Ollie version of Primo slides. But just like he did with the Caspers and the Dark slides, he's got a lot of different styles right off the bat. Primo slide with a varial flip out. He's got another line with a Gazelle underflip in it. This one a bit harder with some more stuff in it. Very cool. This one, the Dark slide shove it to fakie manual. Doing a Dark slide in a combo is pretty crazy. And then a whole kickflip, underflip section. Not just a couple of tricks, but he's got a varial heel flip, underflip. Probably another, maybe top 10 hardest flat ground tricks ever. Backside flip, underflip, nollie frontside flip, underflip, switch backside flip, underflip. Crazy. Absolutely unbelievably hard. I tried a normal one. I tried just a plain straight kickflip, underflip, and it is so hard because you're so used to flicking out past the nose. You can't see it flicking out past the nose, but you have to flick down so that your foot is underneath the board. I was trying to do it with my back foot to kind of hand it off. It's so hard. I don't know how he does it, but he did like every style that you could possibly consider. He does a pretty much perfect impossible nose manual nollie impossible out, and then back to the Primo slides. We got a tray flip Primo slide with a flip out. He's got a varial heel flip Primo slide, flip out, nollie tray flip Primo slide. Just like, and then he ends it with a Primo to Primo with a shove it out. And like, it's cool to see other people, Johnny Geiger specifically, like doing Primo slides and bringing some of the stuff back. But there's stuff in here that is just so heavy, like the nollie tray flip Primo slide. That's so cool. That's really hard. And then to flip from Primo to Primo and be sliding the whole time, like it's just crazy. Like it's hard to imagine being that good at skateboarding. This is amazing. This is my top video part, not just Mullen video part, my top video part of all time. It is just amazing. It's incredible. And then we end things off with Liminal. So this was relatively simple freestyle tricks, but just with cool camera, like spinning camera setup. There's a lot of bad, like sketchy landings. He bails a no-handed fan flip in the part and then never gets it later. But it's more of an art project than a video part. Plus, his hip was so damaged that it needed to have surgery really bad, and only got it pretty recently. So it's understandable that it's not amazing trick-wise, but still, as far as how many times I would like to go back and see it, not that high. So Liminal is going to go in the D tier, high D tier. It's above those. I'm going to put it like that. So this is my ranking of Rodney Mullen video parts. For now that he's had double hip replacement surgery and can skate again, maybe there'll be another one. I mean, his first part came out in 1982, so if he was still putting them out, that would be impressive. But yeah, this is it, and I think this is pretty good. I think this is a pretty solid list. I put some time into it, so let me know if your list is a little different than mine. But yeah, it was fun putting together this and having an excuse to watch all these parts again. If you like this, hit the like button. You know, I can make them for different skaters and stuff too. This was a fun thing to do. So that is it. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you later.